did you get into coaching, and when did you decide you wanted to be a coach?
It was a long journey. So my first experience in basketball was as a student manager for the Syracuse men's basketball team, and I didn't. Wow.
That's tough. That's tough timing.
I didn't intend to get into coaching when I was there. It was just like a great extracurricular activity, be involved in like a high major basketball program, and I knew I wanted to work in sports. Like my whole life, I knew I wanted to work in sports, and I had different internships, different summer internships each summer, and I did not get a job right out of college. So I kind of had time to reassess what I wanted to do, what I was the most passionate about, what was most rewarding, and the camaraderie of being around that team, particularly my senior year. We got to number one in the country for a couple weeks. It was just like, how can I work in that space? And so then from that time on, I was looking for GA positions, internships for college basketball programs. A friend of mine let me volunteer for his high school basketball team in Woburn, and that was my first experience coaching. And then I got to UNC Asheville, Eastern Michigan, Boston University, and the big break for me is Brian Adams, who's now an assistant coach at Alabama, is a friend of my sister's, and he recommended the Celtics hire me for the open internship they had in 2013. So every Thanksgiving, we're cheersing to Brian Adams.
How much do you anticipate seeing Hugo play out here?
A lot. He plays a lot. He's been awesome. Our staff is very pleased with him. Especially having just arrived in the country, and we're throwing our whole playbook at him and all these things that some of our returning players just have a leg up on him with. And so he's diligent with film, both in the skill side and in the concepts and action side.
You've talked a lot about throwing a ton of stuff at him.
Yeah.
What are some one examples?
So it's a lot of terminology. That's the first thing is, again, compared to the baseline of Baylor, Miles, and Jordan who have been here, some of the words where we're trying to install a new play call are just second nature to them. Whereas all of a sudden, you have to the rest of the team as well. It's not just him, but to the rest of the team, you're defining all of our terminology. Then navigating defensive coverages. It's no team plays defense exactly the same way. So it's on both sides. But I'd say the main thing is you end up taking in a lot of new terminology.
Brad mentioned the other day that this team, you guys are kind of installing / experimenting some new things that you might be able to implement during the regular season. What kind of things are you guys looking at, and are there certain things about kind of changing the way you play at all that you're looking to install a little bit here?
Yeah, I'd say like the main thing with this group, and it's kind of weaponizing the effort level that they play with and the competitiveness that the group has, is we want to pressure the ball. We want to force turnovers. We want to be an active defense. We want defensive playmakers. So I would say that's the main thing that our guys have really bought into, and we're super excited about.
Jordan said the other day, he said last year he caught himself sometimes trying to be Jason or Jalen and realized that's not who he is. He has to kind of get back to being himself, I guess. What does that look like to you, and what are you kind of hoping in general to see?
Yeah, I mean, for our whole team, I don't want any of these guys trying to do too much out here. We are hoping to play on that end, play with some pace, play with a lot of relentless after action, and that should really heighten the strengths of all of our players, including Jordan, who we know, great screener, crasher, mover, shooter. There's everything that he can do, but it doesn't need to try to take on a role of all NBA creator.
With Baylor, a lot of time last year, obviously with Jalen and Jason, he spent time off the ball. Places like here and in Maine, he has the ball in his hands a lot more. What are you looking for from him in terms of his role, how he can grow? What are your goals for him this summer?
Yeah, he can do pretty much everything. As you said, he's got a lot of experience off the ball, whether it be spacing, ready to shoot, second action, just kind of keeping the flow going. But we also want him to initiate, and so he's a smart player, and I think that's the main thing is he's done a great job of making sure our team is kind of coming along, especially the guys that are trying to learn new concepts, new terms. And so that leadership role kind of naturally ends up, you're going to have the ball in your hands, kind of dictating the offense and getting guys where they need to be. But he's up for the task.
Sorry, sticking with that, it's kind of weird in Summer League because you have a group for 2-3 weeks and then it's gone forever. But you just mentioned Baylor stepping up in a leadership role. How much have you seen those guys who haven't been around the team so long, Baylor, Jordan, step up in that regard this summer?
Yeah, again, I'd say the main thing is they have been here for some of the common threads that we're weaving into this training camp. So they've been here for so much of this stuff, and we have told them, that it's something that they're good teammates that they're going to do, but it's like we need you to kind of help out here because in the flow of a game, whether they're scrimmage on the bench, whatever it is, like there's only so much communication that we can do. They're on the court together, just between free throws, side out of bounds, whatever it is, like dead ball, like help each other out.
Matt, what's the balance? Okay, so as a coach, I mean, you want to go 5-0. I mean, this is a tryout for you too. You want to go 5-0,
Yep.
right? You want to but you also want to develop guys, right? But the guys who might be playing the best might be the guys who have no shot at making even training camp because they're playing well. Like, what's the balance of getting the guys the looks you want to give them, but also trying to win the game because obviously they're keeping score here.
Yeah, they are keeping score. That's for sure. I would say, we'll be initially prioritizing the players that have been with us. Like that's any summer league program is going to do that. But we have a lot of great players that have chosen to be with us, and we want to give them the opportunities that they deserve. So it's a fine balance. I'd say it's a game-to-game thing. But I want to give the respect that the players that have chosen to join our team, kind of knowing the scenario of what our roster makeup is, want to give them the respect that they deserve with regards to playing time and opportunity.
Thank you.